Pray on Saturdays?
Yes.
Hello.
We pray on Saturdays?
Okay.
Guys, we're live.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay, we are live. Come on in the room.
Yeah, this is where we ramble.
Oops.
Yeah, we supposed to ramble.
Until we get maybe one viewer. You know.
It's hard to tell from here.
What, if we get viewers?
Yeah, I can't really tell. I've never gone live before.
Oh, well, if we do get viewers, thank you. Because we know that, Bishop's your favorite.
There's 7 viewers.
Yes, Daddy. Thank you.
Thank you. The 7 saints that are tuning, the 12 saints
That are coming in.
that are coming in. We appreciate you. We know you looking forward to Bishop and First Lady.
But unfortunately, he's behind the camera now.
We're giving them a break today. We felt like it would be nice to give them a break.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be nice to do something different.
If this goes wrong, it was Candace's idea.
It was my idea. I don't know why I did this to myself. So yeah, come on in. We're gonna be very unfiltered. We may have to put a filter
On Dylan.
on our. Y'all pray for us, honestly. Pray for my parents, Bishop and Lady Smith, because they're supposed to be working the tech behind the scenes.
Right.
And honestly, y'all pray. If we have to give them some tips, I'm sorry.
While we're live?
While we're live, we may be a little bit unprofessional. But share this video. We're going to start shortly. We got some good questions, and I'm very interested to hear how my siblings are going to answer these questions. And I think it's good for a lot of adults, a lot of young people to listen, because it's not just the perspective for the young people, but good perspectives for parents, for older people in ministry to get another understanding or another perspective of what we have to deal with. Because I think we're going to be representing pastors' kids. We're going to be representing young people in church. We're going to be representing young leaders in church. And yeah, so I hope that you guys stay tuned, watch, and ask questions. Ask Dylan questions for sure. Let's hear him talk. And we're going to enjoy this hour.
Yeah.
Okay?
We're at the top of the hour, guys.
We are? Okay.
Hour.
So we're going to quickly pray. Should we say good pray? No?
Sure.
Okay.
God, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you that we're here together as a family and as a church family. Lord, I pray that whatever we say, oh God, will be from the heart. Lord, I pray, oh God, that you will have your way in this, that someone will be blessed, that someone will have a new understanding, and that someone's mind will be open to what we have to say. We give you all the praise, we give you all the glory, and we give you all the honor in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Welcome to Unfiltered with your guests, Candace Smith, Cherie Smith, and Dylan Smith. We are siblings, ranking from the eldest to the youngest. Don't
yes,
get it.
I'm the oldest.
She's older.
I'm older.
Exactly. Getting that. Make sure you don't get that confused. He's the baby. Okay. If you want to call in, the phone number is 1-867-292-3030. Again, that's 1-867-292-3030. And the access code is 364-6710. Access code 364-6710. And don't forget to press *2 when you're on the phone line. There will be an icon where we see on our end that you've raised your hand. Give us a couple moments and then we will unmute you, and we'll love to hear from you. Again, don't forget to press *2 if you're on the phone line to raise your hand, and we'll be able to identify you. Okay, and then we also have Brother O'Dane looking at the Facebook comments. So don't forget to comment, ask your questions if something comes up in your mind, and we will get to that. And First Lady is also going to be looking at the Facebook questions. Okay, so we're going to hand this over to Bishop Smith.
All right. So here we go. I hope I do well this evening. And so we have questions for you guys, and I hope you'll be able to help our listeners here. So I'm going to start off with one of the first questions that we have for you, and you can take it in any order. And I think each person could give their own comments. What is it like living with Pastor and First Lady Smith?
I go first?
You've been doing most of the talking. You might as well.
Take it.
Okay, well, I'll start off and you guys could comment. So, living with a pastor and a first lady, I think, is a little bit different from living with my parents. Just because I feel like some people's perspective, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but their parents are a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more focused on church. But when pastor and first lady, they come home, they're mom and dad. They're silly. Dad be singing some weird songs, and it's like, why Lord, why today? You know, mom is just being mom and just being silly herself. So living with them too can get loud. It could be a little bit chaotic. Sometimes we're just like, go into your room and let's just, you know, get some peace in this house because they can get loud. So I enjoy living with my parents. They're fun, you know, and I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to.
Yeah, you're talking too much. I think mom is funny because she laughs at her own jokes a lot. Yeah, like our parents are different. Like they're very much so relaxed here. So then sometimes we go to church and people are like, "Oh, I'm scared of your parents," and we're just like, "Why?" Because, like, if in all honesty, like I just don't think they're normal. I love you. And yeah, they're fun. They're funny.
Listen, like they're great. They're honestly great. Honestly, people think that they're scary, and it's like, oh my gosh, like Bishop, First Lady. Even when they come to, like, when people visit, it's like, oh my God, I'm scared. I don't want to see you in your house or anything. But like, honestly, they just love to relax, watch TV. They're normal parents. So
watch Family Feud,
talk on
everything,
the phone,
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, living with them is great, and with living with them, we're able to also travel a lot. So we get to get out of the house, and we do like family excursions. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Good, that's good. I'm glad you like it. I was going to give you a notice to leave, but since you like it, you can all stay. And so the next question we have is, do you feel restricted being a PK, being pastor's kid? Sharice.
Why is it me? Sharice,
You
take
feel
that.
restricted.
I guess in a sense, not from my parents though. I feel like a lot of that comes from the saints and the church because they have these unrealistic expectations of us, and I think that sometimes the saints can put on you what they're not willing to put on their own children. So
Oh my God.
yeah, if we're talking about it feeling restricted, I think it mainly would come from the church and not so much from our parents.
I agree. I completely agree.
Dylan, do you feel restricted?
It depends. Like, again, it depends on the situation, right? Like certain things, you can't, take part in. So you kind of have to be mindful and just always think again, like, should I really be a part of that crowd, or should I really be there at this time? So you kind of have to really think about your choices and decisions.
For one thing is, I think that the three of us, we really respect our parents and we really love them and we understand their role, and we don't want to, I believe we don't want to do anything that damages their role and how they look, because we're not putting on an act, we're just saying that how you see them is how they are, and we don't want to do anything that changes your perspective of how they truly are. So we do our best to carry ourselves in a way where they can be respected, where people don't think, oh wow, what is Bishop really doing? And we can't control what people say, but we can do our best to avoid certain situations where we're not creating a discussion that doesn't have to be created. And we're going to Facebook. We have some Facebook questions.
We have one Facebook question from Michelle Richards. And she would like to know, how often are you beaten?
That's the question?
Is that serious?
Wasn't she around during
That's not a question. That ain't no question.
That's not a question.
I mean,
We don't need beat. We get looks.
Thank you.
Guys.
yeah, I
You
can
get
only
looks, man.
remember being beaten one time. And Candace told me I can't tell like stories, so yeah, just one time. Other than that, like never.
Yeah, we honestly, our father's look and our mother's tone,
Oh yeah, mom's tone.
and dad's tone too, that would scare us, and we just felt like we
Listen.
died inside as they just looked.
We knew we messed up.
We knew.
Once we got that.
Once we got that,
Mm-mm.
so tears. We didn't get beaten. We weren't that bad at Michelle. We were also amazing kids, so they didn't have to beat us that often.
Still are. We
Still
still
are.
are amazing kids.
So yeah.
All right, so I have another question for you. Do you all always share the same views? Do the three of you share the same views?
I don't think so.
Let's start with Dylan. Share the same
Definitely
views.
not. Like, definitely not. We don't see things the same. We don't think things the same. It's just completely different.
Wow.
Like,
Wow, we're that different.
we're different. We are different.
Yo, I'm learning some stuff here.
I mean, I think it depends on what it is.
So dramatic, Dylan.
I know, right? Like, never. No, I think we do share the same views on a few things, especially like leadership. Granted, like, our parents are leaders, so a lot of the way we view leaders and how we want to be leaders, we take from them. And I think we all kind of agree on that, at least, I would hope.
Okay, Dylan said sounds like we don't ever agree on stuff or have the same perspective. Is that the question? Perspective?
Same
views. I think we do have, the same amount of views, unless our conversations we've been having has been pure lies, Dylan. But I feel like we do have similar views, but then we do have different views at the same time. So I think it's a good balance.
All right. There's an interesting question here that I have. I'm going to start with Candice, since you're the older one. Do you feel that more pressure would be on you choosing a spouse as a PK?
Of course.
And the other one.
This is for another unfiltered section. Yes, there is a lot of pressure, and y'all just saints pray. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. You want to make sure that you want to make sure that the person could be received, by your parents, by your ministry, and respect your role and all that comes with it. There's a whole bunch of things that go unsaid when it comes to how you have to carry yourself. And if someone doesn't understand why you do what you do, or why you have to do, or or why you don't go places, or why you don't do things, then it's gonna be hard for you to be able to do pick someone. So
Dries?
I agree. I think choosing a spouse, is it a spouse? Yeah, choosing a spouse in general, I think you need to be very careful, and there is a lot of pressure on that in general. On top of that, being PK, I think you want it to be someone where, like Hannah said, that the church or your ministry can accept them, as well as to have someone that understands your passion for your ministry, because all three of us are very passionate about what we do in church. And if you're with someone, you want them to understand that, hey, it does take a lot of time. Hey, I may be at church for hours on end. You want them to have that understanding that this is a part of who you are.
All right.
And pretty much what they touched about. You gotta make sure that they are in line with the exact same motivation that you have for ministry. Because if they're not motivated for ministry, then it's just you guys are gonna clash. Like if she wants to, or he wants to stay home and you want to be at church, it ain't gonna work. So. And
also going back to being in PK, it's just you also they may not understand why you do certain things just to avoid a certain conversation, starting a conversation, right? You don't want to start anything where people have something to talk about, and you don't have to put that out there, right? So they may not understand that you may have to filter certain things. Not everything has to be on Facebook. Not everything has to be on social media. They may see oh, why not? What's so wrong with that? But they don't understand that when you're in a certain level, it's different. So yeah, we're going to Facebook.
I have a Facebook comment, and it's from Natalie Forbes, and she says, and I agree, more pressure probably comes from the public than in the home. I would just continue to add that part of it. And Carol McNeish says, I can see all three of you having power in your own prospect place. So,
so those are Facebook comments.
Those are comments for you.
That's true. It's definitely more the congregation. One more.
I do have a question for you from Michelle Lancaster Richards. Do you know her?
Maybe.
Okay. And her question is, do you feel that the church members respect you more or less as PKs? And to explain.
Can I start?
Okay, so I would say yes, they do respect us. But I do, and some may respect us because they may fear that, they're going to go back to pastor and tell pastor X, Y, and Z. And some people don't realize that even in our leadership roles, yes, we do go to our father for advice, but they may not know everything. I remember one of my choir members saying, does Bishop know this? I was like, no, he doesn't, because I'm not going to add more. If he wasn't my pastor, if I wasn't living in the same household as him and he was my pastor, would I still be calling down his phone, saying this? No, I understand that I have a leadership role, and if something goes beyond what I can handle, then I'll go to my music director, then I'll go to pastor. But not everything I'm going to take to him. And that's one thing as children of a pastor, we're very mindful as to what we bring to our father to our mother, because it can be a lot on them. Why are we going to add more stress onto their plate when they're already dealing with so much church stress? So that's one thing that people don't see, is that there are things that we may be dealing with. We may have to pick our points as to when we do go to our parents, when do we do talk to them. Because if my dad came home from a hospital, having to pray with the family who recently lost a loved one, I'm not going to be going to him 2 seconds later and saying, oh my goodness, Dad, I'm struggling with this. No, if it's something that could wait, I'm going to wait until that clears his mind, so that he's now open to receive what I have to say. And some people may not realize that. So we don't go to them for everything, and at the same time, I do think that people respect us more because we do demonstrate leadership. If we were just pastors' kids and we weren't operating in a level of leadership, then people wouldn't respect us. But because we are pastors' kids, that puts the initial respect, but then we earned more because we're actually operating in that leadership and doing our best to make good and wise choices.
I agree with that, but I'd also like to say that I think it also depends on which one of us it is. I think Candace would get a lot more respect firsthand than maybe I would. I don't know about Dylan. I don't know. But I think for me, like, there are some people that respect me, like, right off the bat, and then there are people who see me and would like to, I guess, like I said earlier, impose what they think I should be and who they think I should be. So then they try to take the role of being my parent, and they're not my parent. So for me, I don't really see that as a level of respect. So yeah, like, I think it depends on the person that is speaking to us, and as well as it depends on us. But I think our roles as well, operating in ministry, has elevated that level of respect, because we have now proven ourselves to be leaders on our own.
Pretty much I would say that starting off ministry young, I didn't necessarily got the respect until I got older. It was pretty much like I was kind of told what to do, and my decision and my judgment wasn't valid because I'm young, right? So after time, went by, and as soon as I got older, it kind of like the respect I started to gain, and people started to trust my decisions. So it came with time for me.
And so I'm going to keep in that same vein and talk about your ministry, because there's a very good question I have here that they ask: what ages did you begin to operate in your ministry, and how did you know that's the ministry you're called for? For example, how do you know what you're doing now is what God has called you for, and what age did you begin? And let's start with Dylan, since you're the last person.
So I started ministry at 11 years old. Mind you, I started on the choir. So before I started playing, back in 2010, 10 years ago, Candace started a choir. It was entitled Generation of Praise. It was our very first youth choir of Kingdom Life Ministries history. That was it. We just started, we were fresh, so, we needed some voices, right? At the time, I was doing nothing in church. I was just there, just an 11-year-old kid. So I started off in the tenor section. The first song we sang was Hezekiah Walker, I Will Bless the Lord. The very first song I'm like, okay, Lord Jesus, I cannot sing. This ain't my ministry, but I'm going to do it because my sister asked me, the relationship we have, whatever she needs, I'm going to do it for her. So started off on the choir. That was the only time I sang.
That one song?
The one song, that was it. I didn't sing any times after that. So maybe I think 3-4 weeks went by, and I was approached, and I was like, are you interested in playing music or whatever for the choir or whatever? At the time, I just started doing piano. I wasn't that good, but I got some guidance and training to prepare for the next choir song. So the next choir song we sang was Pressing On. That same year, I was like, okay, you know what? I only know 3 chords. I'm gonna play this song and just stick with it. And 10 years later, I've been, I stuck with what I was doing back then, and I'm here now, and I'm just very grateful that I stuck with the ministry. So,
beautiful. Cherise?
What age did I start?
What age, and how do you know this ministry?
Like what? Like the ministry I'm currently in right now, or just like ministry?
Ministry in general. I mean, you have grown from one to the other and changed, but when you really start in ministry, you have progress to other areas.
Yeah. Okay. I would say the same thing as Dylan in terms of the GOP choir. Then, that was the first like serious time I was in ministry. I was a year older than you. So how old were you when you said you started? 11. So I was 12. So when I was 12 years old, that's where I started. And then by the time I got to, well, high school-ish, or maybe a bit before then, Candace started doing her stage plays. And I started to help her out on the technical end of it. And decided that, okay, that's what I want to go to school for. So in college, now I started to do photography at church. And then by the time I was done college, I ended up managing the media team, which is what I do now. What was the second part of the question?
How did you know it's a ministry you're called for?
Oh, I knew it was a ministry I was called for because I had such a deep passion for it. I looked at the bigger picture, and to some people they saw things within media or within the presentation of it all and was like, okay, it doesn't matter. But to me, I saw how it could reflect the church to those that don't come to Kingdom Life. So for me, it was just like, okay, I have this big passion to make this great, to make people see that Kingdom Life is a great church, you know, like we know it, but do other people know it? And that's how I kind of knew that this was exactly where I wanted to be, was to be able to provide that stream, that link from other people to our church.
Okay, Candice, you're the last one on this.
What's the question?
The question was, what age is you being to operate in ministry, and how did you know it's a ministry you're called for? Then we're going to go to Facebook.
Okay. Started at 12 years old. I was asked whether or not I'm interested in singing on the sanctuary choir at the time, which was our only adult choir, so we did not have a youth choir. And I've been on the sanctuary choir for years. At the age of 17, I started Kayla Smith and I. Kayla, what's up? I don't know if you're here.
It was Kayla. She.
Yeah, Kayla Smith and I, we came up with the idea of it would be cool to have a youth choir at Kingdom Life. So we proposed the idea. I volunteered myself to direct. I don't know. At that point, at that age, I was very passionate. I felt like I could do almost anything. So 17, I started directing, and it's been 10 years now of me directing choirs. So yeah, it's been. How do I know that's what I'm called to do? I don't know. I think me personally, I just think I'm very creative. I'm musically inclined. So I know that I'm called to be able to be creative, direct, lead, be able to have a vision and execute it, right? So that's why I love doing my stage plays. Did that for 6-7 years straight. And to know that in doing that, my sister was able to find what she loves to do. So that's great. And then, the choir, it's just like, it's not that I wanted to do it myself. It's just that people saw it within me. And to this day, I still sometimes don't see how people see me when I direct. And they're like, oh, it's your hands. There's something with your hands. I'm just like, I don't know. So I just feel like you just know when God is using you. And you just avail yourself to do what, God has called you to do. So we're going to Facebook.
So we have a comment here on Facebook from June Samuda Forbes.
Yes, hi Auntie June.
Hi, Auntie June.
Yes.
What's up?
One of the best caregivers of you all.
Yes.
We had a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughter with the babysitters.
Yeah.
So she says, do any of you believe that being in ministry, you are missing out on anything?
In life? Who's going first?
I don't think so.
How about we add a follow-up question to that? We have Anthony Farrington then, and he's saying, as a PK, do you feel pressured then to walk in the steps of your parents?
Okay. So missing out on anything in life, walking
Yeah.
steps.
People try to put the pressure, right? They said, oh, you should just, do what your father does. They want the ministry to kind of stay within the family. But I would say, I'm not pressured, but they try to, put the pressure there, so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I mean,
Why?
Why?
She wants to
Okay,
say
hold
because
on.
they're so rich.
Let me get there.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, and if I do, usually it's just more family time. But it doesn't go deeper than that for me. And why that is because I feel like my parents, especially mom, did a really good job with ensuring that we still had a normal life. You know, like, I remember being young and going to elementary school, and we come home and mom's like, okay, go pack your bags, we're going. And you don't know where we're going, you don't know what we're doing, but we're just packing our bags, which is probably the reason why I can never pack to go travel until like the day before or the day of. But yeah, like, I think our parents made it normal for us.
Our parents made it, I would say sometimes we're a little bit spoiled. Like, our parents did what they can to give us a great life outside of church. We've been on cruises, been to Disney World, traveled the Caribbean. We did trips to New York, or like, you know, a weekend in Buffalo, as Shrees was saying, you know, we pack overnight. They encouraged us. Like, I remember when I was in university, I was like, family, guess what? Tyler Perry's coming to Detroit. Like, let's go overnight. Like, let's just sneak away. And some people were probably not happy about that, but they probably didn't realize how much we needed just to escape. Because the escape for us is really important, where we literally could be in an environment where mom is mom and dad is dad, and everyone who's in that environment can call mom mom and dad dad, and not, you know, pastor or first lady. So we were able to sneak away to Detroit and watch the play and come back in time for church the next day. So honestly, I feel like we probably were able to experience a lot more. We all went away for school. We were not restricted to stay at church, even though we had roles in ministry in church. I went to Ottawa, you went to Niagara, where you go? Mohawk, and Hamilton. So we all had that opportunity. Our parents did not restrict us. And the pressure question, again, more from inside church, but at the same time, pastors or leaders, you have to be on the side of your kids. You always have to look out for your kids, right? If it's the kids versus the congregation, you have to look out for your kids. You know, sometimes people will be telling you, oh, well, you should be doing this, or you should be preaching like your father. If your parents don't empower you to be your best version of yourself, then, you know, you're going to lose your kids. That's how kids end up walking away. We're all creative individuals. My dad is a mathematician, right? He's good with numbers. We're good with creative art. So we get it from our mom. That's what she's saying right now. So we're creative people, and they had to embrace how we are. Unfortunately, we're not going to be the future accountants. Sorry. But you know, we're not able to take over that.
We're going to be a doctor.
We're not, sorry, but you know, they were able to see that, and because of that, we've been able to be the best versions of ourselves.
So you've kind of answered indirectly the statement by the question by Malik that says, do any of you feel the pressure of having to take over the church from Bishop when he retires?
Let me just make this clear. I think I need to speak for all three of us. We are not taking over the church. I'm so sorry. I can't handle it. I don't know about these two. Maybe if we have like a board where like there's a whole bunch of different pastors.
More like Greenleaf.
Yeah, I'll be like the media pastor, but that's about it. Like, we're not taking over the church.
Yeah, we're gonna do like Greenleaf where there's like 7 pastors or something. Yeah,
we're trying to find someone to take over the church because it will not be us.
We're taking applications in about 5 years, so please submit them. So
you're talking a lot.
Dylan, talk.
I have a question for Dylan. Oh, are you guys done with that?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. You're not taking it over. Nobody wants it?
No, we don't want the church. We don't want the church. No.
Okay.
We're taking applications.
All right. So I have a question for Dylan. Would you move out of your parents' home before marriage?
No. That does not make sense. Financially, no. Stay home until it's time. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Question answer.
Feels like an answer for everybody.
We're money people, so.
Oh gosh. I guess that does. See, we do get a little bit of the accounting from Dad. You know, we know how to manage our money. There you go. I'm waiting for y'all.
No, she's going to Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. Gia Farrington.
Oh yes.
She says, being in ministry as a PK, you are exposed to so much. If there was one thing you could snap your fingers and change, what would it be?
That's hard.
Ariel, she was take this one.
If I could snap my fingers and change one thing, what would it be?
You must have a good answer for this one.
Okay, I got it.
You got it. See, it's right there.
This might hurt some of you guys though.
It's unfiltered. Sorry.
It's unfiltered. I think if I could change anything, I would change the mistreatment that our parents get from people sometimes, because sometimes they can't always answer everything, or they can't always be everywhere, and people take that personally. But I think sometimes people tend to forget that they're human too, and that they need breaks, and that they have a family. So if I could change anything, I think I would more so allow people to have the understanding that they're humans, and they don't need to be with you every 5 seconds, and they don't always get to answer your phone calls because they're busy. Yeah, that's what I would change. Oh, so I'm supposed to tell you guys to press *2 if you're on the phone lines to call and ask questions. And the number is 1-867-292-3030. Access code is 3646710. Again, you press *2 to ask us a question or to give us a comment.
So I'm going back to the questions, and what are some of the things or mistakes people make regarding preachers' kids? What are some of the mistakes they make about their assumptions?
They definitely think we're better than everyone else. That's the biggest mistake. We are not better than no one. We do our own thing. We're just like everyone else. So I think that's the biggest mistake that they think. So.
Or that they think we're the absolute worst. So people either think that it's true. They either think you're the absolute best, so you're all the way up there, or you're the absolute worst, and you're all the way down there. I just think that
there's no middle ground.
Yeah, like you are who you are. You know what I mean? And I also think that it depends on your parents and your church. Like Candace said earlier, our parents did a good job with being active and being involved in our lives. So we never felt like we had to go be bad to get their attention. We literally just say, "Yeah, can you come off the phone? I want to talk to you." So yeah.
Yeah, we just said, "Can we go way down? Let's do a little trip," and we do that. So yeah, back to you.
All right, so here's another question that I have that I want to bring to you. How do you support each other personally? How do you support each other?
Okay, like in life?
I guess it's in life.
Okay,
that's a general question. Yeah. So take it any way you want to.
So okay, well I could guess into examples. Like we all have our strengths, right? So for example, if one of these two are looking to apply for a new job, they send their resume to me and they're like, "Candace, can you look this over?" Let's say sometimes it's something a little bit more tech savvy. We may go to Sharice. What do you go for Dylan for?
Music usually.
Okay.
To kill a bug.
We go to Dylan for some things. Honestly, it's not coming to the top of our mind. But I guess we do support each other in terms of like we know who to go to, and like when we need someone to like talk to or vent to, like we know when Dylan comes in our presence and he's just lingering around.
He doesn't say anything yet.
He wants to talk.
So you gotta turn everything on.
Stop your TV show because you don't know when he's gonna come back again. Maybe to talk to you. So we're there and we'll encourage. We'll tell him and give him advice and stuff. Dylan, you talk.
How do we support you?
Okay. Yeah,
or how do you support us?
Like pretty much, yeah. If they, as they said, if they need a bug killed or whatever, I'm there. They touched everything. So I'm gonna leave it as that.
That's okay. Ministry wise though, we do support each other in ministry. I direct the choir. You do media. You do.
I also sing.
You sing.
So it links.
And she also used to do the admin for the youth choir.
Oh yeah.
And then he does the music. So we do collaborate a lot. Dylan and I may work on a set as to like, okay, what are we gonna do, musically. Sharice may be talking about mics and where we can be positioned, or just certain tech things. It's less choir related, but you're more praise team focused when it comes to the music. So we do, go hand in hand, and we do communicate a lot.
Yeah.
So we do support each other in that way, and if there's any questions or anything, we know who to go to. All right, we're going to Facebook.
Okay, so we have a comment here from someone, Philip Evans, and he says, "Good answers. They have life too outside of church."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just very nice to know.
Yes.
But we do have a question here from Lamar Edwards, who says,
Junior Deacon.
yes, he says, how does your dad does your dad being a pastor and mom being a first lady help you in you becoming who you are today?
Amen.
I don't know.
Okay. How does pastor being a pastor
Help our ministries?
help us being who we are
Who we
today?
are today.
Okay. Well, because our parents.
I got an answer.
Okay, you talk first, and then I'll go.
I think that with their role, they have given us a lot of tools and great values that, yes, you can get if your parents are just like in church, but I think some of them don't relate so much to that as well. Like, for example, leadership, how to talk to people, how to interact with people. One thing that they do is they constantly call people and check up on people. So now it's kind of instilled in me that, okay, I need to go and call and check up on this person. I haven't seen them in a while. I need to know, are they okay? So for me, that brings out the compassionate, the caring side of me. So I think that their mindset on those things as leaders help me to be compassionate towards my team and the people that I lead. To add to hers, with them being leaders and they've experienced a lot, had to do a lot of, counseling, being in a lot of situations that we don't even know. Like, we're not exposed to everything our parents have to deal with. But because they've been through so much, they've been pastoring for 20 years, they have so many different perspectives. So when someone may have just one perspective, like a regular parent who doesn't have the pressure or the responsibilities of ministry may come with just one perspective, our parents may challenge us and be like, listen, look at it from this point of view. You may not know what they're dealing with in their home. And like sometimes you're like, how can your father or your pastor forgive so easily? Yeah.
But it's because they've been through so much and they understand how people are because of their roles of leadership. They just deal with things differently. Like, when other people will be holding a grudge, my father's like, I don't have time for that. Like, I have people to lead. I can't just be hung up on this one situation. There's other people I have to care about. I have other people that need me right now. So yes, someone may not like me right now. Someone may be upset with me right now. But I can't put all my energy on the people who don't like me. I have to put my energy in being a leader, being an example, being there for people who really, really need my attention right now. Yes, I'm going to do whatever I can, apologize, let them know I'm here when they want to talk. But I'm not going to be caught up on that compared to other people who all they have the energy to be is caught up on the people who don't like them. That's an example. But just like because of their experience, they have different. They challenge us because
especially dad.
Yeah.
You'll have this perspective and you're hung up on it, and you're like, yes, I'm mad, and he'll come and he will change everything.
And you feel bad for being mad.
You feel bad for being mad. It's just like, can I just be mad? But it's a good thing because then it opens up your eyes to a whole lot more, and then that way you're experiencing more, and you know how to address certain things, and you know how to address certain people. I'm sorry, I'm not talking. I won't talk as much as she is talking.
Yeah, we're gonna skip me.
So I'm gonna go to Facebook. There's a comment here from Jacqueline Beckford, and she says, "Praying for you guys. I realize it's not easy being PKs, but you guys seem very grounded in God. Grounded. God bless you. Enjoying this."
Thank you.
And then Catherine Grosset has a question for you, and she says, "Do you feel that
interconnectivity of your various roles in ministry impacts your relationship and bond as siblings? If yes, how so?" You're talking about interconnectivity, yeah.
I would say that like our ministries and us, I think it complements each other. So my ministry will complement what Sharice is doing. My ministry will complement what Candace. So I think that it will just kind of
create a bond between us.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that.
I really wanted to hear that answer.
Yeah, I would say it creates a bond. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. We end up spending time sitting down and again, going through material, going through stuff together, and then sometimes from that it'll lead to something else, and we spend more time together because we work together, in my opinion.
We also have a question from Randy Reed.
Hello.
And he says, "Where do you see yourselves in the next 5 to 10 years? not just in ministry, but in your personal lives. What are some goals you'd all like to accomplish?
In the next 5 years?
5 to 10.
5 to 10.
5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years, I would like to have 2 houses. One would obviously be an investment property. I would like to be financially secure and stable on my own, like I am, sort of, but not really. Yeah, you know, the family thing and stuff like that. And ministry-wise, I don't know. I kind of thought about, you know, not renewing my presidency for media. Well, like, I'll still work in media, but, like, I wouldn't be the president. But I don't think some people would like that. But we'll see what happens when we cross that bridge.
Yeah, I would say like 5 to 10 years from now. Yeah, the family thing.
That's a family thing.
House, everything. I just kind of want to be probably at a higher place in ministry where I am now. We'll see where, you know, the Spirit leads. But yeah, I'll just pretty much say like the family thing, money, job, career-wise. Yeah, that's it.
They said it already.
That's it.
Yeah.
Married, kids, house, all that stuff.
That's it.
The family thing.
The family
thing. Yeah.
So, y'all just pray for God's blessings over here.
So we got a comment here from DeAndre Rose.
Sorry, it's because I never see him on this stage, so that's why I'm shocked. Everybody else, you know, you've seen them.
Well, he says you're his favorite PKs.
Yeah! Oh.
Gia Farrington says she sees y'all living in the Bahamas.
Mama. We'll be there. Multiple times before 5 to 10 years come by.
Right?
And this person says, Kelwell says, excellent role models, Bishop and Lady Smith. So that shout out to us. Which one is that one? Shelley Morgan says, from a teen perspective, well, they're not teen. Okay.
Well, we can give a teen perspective.
Okay. What guided you then when deciding what friends, classmates to keep, grow with, or what TV programs, music, and all those stuff? What made you choose what you did?
Like choose our friends?
Yeah.
But before you answer that, though, there's another question that Samantha had, which is the same question. It says, how does being a PK affect your friendships? So think about it in that realm. Like,
you go first. Did you want to go first?
I would say, okay, on the journey, I would say from the beginning of when you started your ministry and till now, definitely our selective of friends, like our friends have definitely changed. So it just, you kind of have to see based off who's like with you, and in the moment you kind of have to figure out who's really going to be there for the long term, right? So if they're more so jealous of your ministry and jealous of your praise when you're doing your ministry, you already realize that like they're not going to be around for long. So, okay, I'm done. So that's it.
Well, I can say that there have been times where I'm going to talk about me.
Talk about you.
Where I have chosen friends that my parents have not necessarily liked. And they've said to me, you know, I'm not too sure about that one, Sharice. Which, you know, is fine. But at the same time, I think they give us the room to figure it out on our own as well. And so I think it came with trial and error. You know, you tried it, realize it didn't work, and you move on. You know, it hurts, and especially like when you started off young with them, because, you know, Dylan mentioned that you'll start off together and then you realize at some point that you guys aren't moving in the same direction. I think we just learned how to let go, because if you're not gonna let go of those friends that aren't good for you or are keeping you down, then you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna get to the position or the point or the potential that you can be at.
Yes. Facebook?
Okay. So, her name is Vona Lancaster.
Hi, Grandma!
And she says, just to let you guys know, your grandparents are very proud of you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Grandma and Grandpa.
I love you, Grandpa.
Also, Anthony Farrington says, great focus. And Michelle Richards wants to know how many children each.
What? Next question.
And Dorrit Williams says, no, you will stay in Canada.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now, Malik has a question, and his question is, yes, he's got a question for you. He says, What have been your biggest frustration in the hurdles or hurdles in ministry?
Biggest frustration.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
I'll say
Just get my
dealing
water.
with people's commitments. Listen, people would say, "Yeah, I'm on board, I'm ready to go, let's do this." 2-3 weeks later, where are they? So I would say like their commitment is just one of the biggest frustrations because you don't know if they're serious or if they're actually wanting to be a part of what's going on. So that's me. So
I think my biggest hurdle, because I manage the media team, the biggest hurdle I had is kind of going back to the respect portion of it, is gaining some respect from people that are older than me. I think it was easier to work with those that were around my age group and younger, and we can get into this flow of working, but I find that it was a bit harder of an adjustment for the grown-ups to take directions from someone that is so small, so little, and so young.
Yes.
What's your
Your frustrations?
I don't want to add to your hurdle, but also for me, I find like one of the hurdles was when it came to your choice of where you want to go to school.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Some people didn't see what she wanted to do or like how it could be benefit.
Yeah, because it's more so like, okay, well, why is a preacher's kid going into media? You know, they didn't see the sense of that. And again, like, it didn't make sense. I didn't know that Dad felt the way he did until the other day when he said that when I told him what I wanted to do, it didn't make sense. But I guess now we can see
how it can be beneficial.
How it's
it can work in
beneficial.
church and stuff. Yeah. My biggest hurdle. What's the full question again?
What was...
frustration.
What's the frustration?
Yeah, what's your frustrations or biggest hurdle in
Frustration and
ministry?
hurdle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it goes back to, for me, I think it's more aligned with Dylan in terms of people's commitment, because you really can't do anything if ain't nobody showing up for
That's
you
true.
to be able to do it. You know, and the thing is, a lot of people want it to be grand, and it's just like, yeah, but that requires commitment. That requires consistency. That requires rehearsal. Like, anybody who knows me when it comes to things, like, we ain't gonna show up last minute and try to figure it out on the spot.
Right time.
You know, I believe in rehearsals. I believe in showing up. I believe in execution. I believe in doing all those stuff. But if you don't have people who are going to be on board with that, we're not going to get anywhere. And I don't believe in operating below excellence. And I get that from our parents.
Yeah.
My parents, you know. So they showed us what excellence look like. And why am I going to try to just
below that?
Go below that? No. But we can't operate in excellence if we're not putting the work and time into it.
That's true.
I want to go back to a question that we had, original questions, and it's really for Sharice and Dylan. Do you see your life as modeling your older sisters? Is her life a great mentorship to yours?
That's a tough question.
It's her life of mentorship.
Yeah.
So like what she's done and accomplished.
Yeah. Does it do anything for you?
It's kind of different. Like it's not the same. We kind of similar route, like similar like ministries or similar things in life, but just took different routes to get there. So I wouldn't necessarily say like we model her. So.
If I say anything, like, it could be in a sense of, like, specifically for me to model Candace, I would want to model, like, her strength, you know, her ability to keep going when she's completely frustrated. Because I've seen Candace, like, in a state where, it's just like, she's like, I don't know why I'm still doing this. And she still gets up and she still does it. So I think for me, that would be the biggest thing that she does that I would look to.
Aww, so sweet.
Yeah.
We have someone on the phone line.
I'm trying to figure out it.
Oh my goodness. Y'all pray.
Oh, there's another hand raised.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all pray for Bishop. He's going to try to get someone on the phone line.
There's a lot of, okay, I hope,
Okay, just a second.
okay, let's do one in a second. I'm so sorry, people on the phone line.
Are you okay? You know what to do?
You should
Wait,
check
just
in
a
on
second. I was checking. I'm going to the phone line. Hold on a
We
second.
have a couple, oh gosh.
Y'all pray for Bishop.
I
Okay,
think
ready?
you're on, yeah.
You got
You
it?
unmute your computer?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah, I heard them. Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. This is Michelle.
Hi.
And I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
First of all, how many children did you want?
That's not a question.
You're our aunt, so we can dismiss that question.
Next.
Next question.
Okay, my other question, my serious question is, as PKs and haven't gone through, let's say, high school and university, college, and so forth, there are challenges that you probably face, whether it's peer pressure, temptations, and things like that. How did you find and what measures did you take to deal with it or overcome it?
Okay.
That transition of your life to, let's say, relate and encourage other young people who might be at that stage or more stage.
Okay.
All right.
I think. Well,
Q&A mode on.
Y'all better pray for Bishop right now.
Participants may now unmute themselves.
Okay, so who's gonna go first?
Candace, you could go first.
Why? I've been talking. Okay.
Dylan went first last time.
Okay. I think it goes, for me, it goes back to who I surround myself with. I happen to be blessed to have people in my life who respected me. Like, I don't think, no one looked down on me because I was a PK. They just respected and understood that, there's certain things that I probably wouldn't be interested in, right? So they weren't people who were trying to drag me down. They were people who respected me and it's like, okay, if they're gonna do what they're gonna do, but I'm not gonna try to drag Candace down with me. Like, not saying that they won't mention, oh, Candace, would you want to come? But you have people who try to pressure you into doing things.
Yeah.
I happen to have, for key moments in my life, people who respected. Are you trying to say something? Oh, okay. People who respected me and just allowed me to be me and didn't pressure, pull me down, try to bring me down with them.
For me, everybody knew I was a PK, so again, like, I never hid it from anyone. High school, everyone knew. College, everyone knew. All my teachers knew. Everybody knew. And I think the fact that they knew, it helped people to help me stay on the right path. Because even if, I know something's wrong and I'm, like, thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I should. My friends or, like, my classmates would be like, no, Sharice, you're a pastor's kid. Remember who you are. Bishop wouldn't like that. So I had people that didn't even go to church making sure that I was still in line, And I think, again, it's that honest and open communication that I had with my peers, which allowed them to help me, stay on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, like, I would agree with what they said. Like, even from the jump, before I even made any friends, like, people that followed me on social media that I didn't even, like, at school that I never even met yet, they already knew prior to, based off what I post. Church events, conferences, conventions, music, everything I'm playing, gospel, church. So they knew from the jump that, okay, this guy's coming in, he's a church kid. He ain't playing around, he ain't messing around. So do not get him involved, but let's just respect him as the person that he is and not try to make him who he's not. So, and
you also have to be strong within yourself, right? Because if you're not strong within yourself, if you give someone a window of opportunity to lure you in, then that window is eventually going to open wide. But if you're strong within yourself to say, do you know what, like, yes, they understand, and an invitation may be out at some point, but you reject it, they're going to stay in their place. They're not going to continue to try to pull you in. But if you, like, accept the invitation one time, and then the window becomes a little bit more open, and then something else happens, then that's how you fall more into it. But you still have to be strong within yourself, and then also make sure that you're surrounded with good people who respect you and they want to see you strong.
And then they say someone that, like, we're trying to help the younger people, like, growing up, right?
Yeah.
So it also, like, getting involved in ministry early will definitely help.
I forgot that point. Yes.
Grow, like as a child, like, for me, like, I was always in the music room when I was younger. So, like, I wasn't even participating with what the whole generation's doing, like, at my school. So, like, if there's a dance going on, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I love this ministry. Let me just practice on the piano while lunch is going on, while after school events are going on. I didn't partake because, you know why? Because I was serious about my ministry. So for the younger generation coming up, the best thing that they can do is just find a ministry that they love and figure out how your school can, like, complement it.
Parents, please allow your kids to go to church. You know, if they have choir rehearsal or they have other things, bring them, because those relationships will help. Sorry, now we have the phone line.
7 minutes to go.
Oh, keep your answer short.
We're on the phone line. Is there somebody there?
Yes, I am. It's Sister Hughes.
Hi, Sister Hughes.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just have a quick comment. I know I'm a new member at Kingdom Life, and I don't know Dylan and Cherise very well. I'm close to Candace because of the relationship she has with my daughter Joelle.
Yeah.
But I just want to say I admire the relationship that Bishop Smith and Lady Smith have with their children. Right? It's very, very rare to see all of Pastor's kids so immersed in the ministry. It's really a pleasure to see, and it's not just that, you know, you guys are coming to church, but you're grounded. You're grounded in the Lord, and of the truth, it's really a testament to Bishop and Lady Smith.
Yes.
And however, I want to say I would love to hear Cherise sing more. I listened to her, did a lead.
Yep.
The praise and worship, I think it was last week. And I was like, wow, that girl can sing. I want to hear her voice more often. I know Candace is good, but I would love to hear Cherise more often.
Always in the background.
That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes, if we could try to get Cherise out of the background, then she'll come to the foreground. I've been trying.
So we've got a comment here on Facebook from Laverne Rose. And she says, you're all doing a wonderful job supporting your parents and representing Kingdom Life well. You represent Kingdom Life well. He says, you show great maturity and you handle our ministry with class. God bless you all.
Thank you.
And then also Paulette Wood says, awesome, great foundation. But I have a question for you. Can you tell me what is your greatest, the most blessed PK moment, where it was that moment where it felt, oh, you know what? This is all right. There's a benefit to it. The one beneficial moment.
The fruits.
What?
Sorry.
The fruits of the spirit? What are you talking about?
No, like after church,
preaching
to get some.
Oh, fruits.
Don't let Sister Marcia and Sister Sharnette hear you. The biggest moment, I think for me, the biggest moment was, I don't remember where we were. Maybe it was one of our conventions, but we were in a hotel or something. And Dad came in the room, and he's just like, I'm going to be a suffragan bishop. And, you know, he was in such shock and awe. And to see that look on his face, and then to see how, like, proud Mom was, you know, for me, it was just like, they're happy, they're enjoying what they're doing, you know, it's paying off, people are recognizing him, and to see my parents happy, like, that's a blessing for me. That's when I'm just like, you know what, maybe this thing isn't too bad, is when they're good and they're solid.
Well, we're going to the phone line, but one moment for me that I enjoyed, when Dad was preaching in Atlanta. Honestly, time went by so fast. Sorry.
Because you were talking so much.
What? There was just so much to say. Okay, but we went to Atlanta, you know, seeing how Pastor was preaching on the stage. It was a cool moment. I was wearing a big, bright yellow dress. I was like, that's my daddy.
Oh, yeah.
How about the Kansas City?
Oh, yes. Kansas City was nice, too. They had a driver drive us around. That was cool.
All right, so we're going to the phone line. I hope I do this right. I think, yep, go ahead.
Someone's on the phone line. Okay.
Oh, Lord, I have 3 people on the phone line. Why is
Then
that?
mute.
I'm muting. All right, let's see. Who's there?
I think that's cool.
Oh, I just go ahead.
Hello?
Who's on me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's Sister Alice.
Hi, Sister Alice.
Hi, Sally.
I am so proud of you girls. And also Dylan. You kids are great. You're exceptional.
Thank you.
I'm just encouraging you to continue doing what you're doing and staying as sweet as you are. And of course, I cannot say that without acknowledging how you came to be that way. You had very good support. And that's Pastor and Lady Smith. God bless you all. You are exceptional as a family.
Has joined.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
I
it.
take it somebody else on the call. 1 second. Yep.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
They're gone.
Hello.
We can
They're
hear
gone?
We can hear them. It's okay. I'll mute them.
Okay.
Anyone else? Who's next? Anyone else?
The last one. Let me do the last one.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Who's this?
Yes, this is Sister Donnelly.
Hi,
Sister
Sister
Donnelly.
Donnelly.
Hi, just want to say that I think you're all great and you're all really special and unique in your own way. And I just want to ask each of you, Sister Candace, she's heavily involved with the choirs and the music and the plays as well. Sister Sharice does the media department, and Brother Dylan, he's heavily involved in music, which is really great. What is your greatest inspiration? What motivates you and drives you?
That's a good question. So
Q&A mode on.
Dylan, you wanna go?
Oh, what drives me?
Y'all pray for Bishop right now.
Lord,
Bishop is messing this whole thing up.
Sure, you take this. I'll come
Oh,
back to you.
what motivates me? I think what motivates me is that I want to see everyone succeed. I want to succeed as well. If the church looks good, my parents look good, I look good. If we look good, they look good. If they look good, the church looks good. God looks good. You know, everyone looks good. So for me, it's just, again, walking in excellence, and that motivation comes from wanting to be greater than I am, wanting to go higher or deeper in whatever I'm doing. I don't want to just stay where I am.
Yeah, just strive for excellence pretty much for me. Just kind of learn from what you didn't do last time and see how you can make it better, like in any area of ministry that you're operating in. Just figuring out, like, how can I be a better version of myself, or how can I execute better than what I did the week before. So, and
don't forget, our parents taught us excellence. One thing is, like, there's this saying that parents say, I want my kids to be better than how I was, but at the same time, when you look at the reverse, kids, we want our parents to be at their best. There's no way we want to be better than you if you're not operating at your best, right? So when you see that your parents are operating at their best, then it's like, okay, then we have motivation to even operate at that level or even try to exceed that level. But for others who don't have that, then it kind of sucks.
I know we're almost through, but I have one comment from Victoria Bridget Green. She wants more plays.
She wants more plays?
Yes. And Sister Celia Meikle, she have a question. She wants to know, are young men, I guess it's to the girls, are young men scared of approaching you, the girls, because of your dad being a pastor and the bishop? If so, how do you deal with this?
I don't think that they're scared. I think that, like, does this mean as a friendship or relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that they're scared. I just think that they know that they're probably not at the level that they would need to be at to be with a preacher's kid. So I don't really think it's more so of scared of him, but I think they're scared of the expectations of being with one of us.
You gotta come correct.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. I don't think you're wrong.
Oh, come correct to them.
Oh yeah. you gotta come correct. Again, we are very passionate people. We work hard in church, outside church. So it's just like, if you don't have your things together, then I think that young men, I feel like the generation now, this is a whole conversation. I just feel like it's a whole separate conversation, because I feel like young men now aren't as motivated as maybe as females in that same age group, and they take a little bit longer to get there, catch up, right? So I feel like they may be a little bit intimidated because they may not be where,
or intimidated by us, because I think sometimes the way we carry ourselves on our own can be intimidating. I've heard that a couple of times. So
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It like, maybe that's in addition to everything else, but I don't think that it's solely based off of that.
Guys, we're out of time, but I have a couple comments I want to read.
Okay.
Minister Darcy Davis, praise the Lord. I want to compliment the Smith children. I admire you all. God bless you all immensely. I love the way you all have grown in the church. I love to see how you support your parents. I know they're really proud of you all. God bless. June London Mason says, great job to all of you for just being yourself and allowing us to see you for who you truly are. Stay blessed. And Keisha Burt, great job. Oh, that's for me. I skipped one. Dan Samuels, love you all. Fantastic unity with each other and in ministry. Zola McDonald, love and appreciate you.
And she was wanting for a part 2.
If y'all want
part 2.
Listen, I could talk.
And she was telling me at the beginning of this, Sharice, don't talk a lot. Sharice, don't tell your long stories. And she's here talking the most.
And all the way from Barbados. Danae Small. Amen, Sharice. When greatness is on the inside, you cannot settle for mediocrity. And excellent from Anthony Farrington. And that's all I'm going to say. Who's going to take us out? Because the time is gone.
Dylan's going to take us out.
All right, Dylan, pray us out.
All right, Father God, thank you for blessing this stream. Lord, thank you for allowing us to share our thoughts and our unfiltered, Lord God. So I'm asking you right now for everyone that's on this live stream that they'll be blessed and receive this. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Now, next week, we have a special treat for you. Bishop will be on here, but you won't see Lady Smith. You'll be seeing 2 other people instead. You'll be seeing Minister Craig Irish and Brother Marlon Roden. We'll be with Bishop discussing a chapter of the book, Why Men Hate Going to Church.
That's going to be interesting, so don't miss out on that.
Tune in. Is there anything else we're missing,
and
guys?
Tomorrow we got church.
Yes,
at 11:30 a.m. The Smith household will be bringing church to your home. So make sure you're there on time.
Don't be late.
Yes.
All right, is that it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to get up and cut it. Bye.